Kochi headlines today first got to you the story about the supposed hijack drama inside an Air India Express flight. Now we have access images from inside that flight 4422. The footage shows passengers frustrated at the 9-hour-long standoff, standing and protesting their flight. These are exclusive images that we are getting to you from inside that Air India plane. The pilot, in panic, even pressed the hijack alarm button when some frustrated, angry passengers tried to storm the cockpit. This after a 9-hour-long delay in landing of that plane in Kochi. All right, Praveen joins us for more on that story. Explain to us exactly what happened in these images that we're getting to our viewers, Praveen.
In fact, Padmaja, the thing is, the passengers had to wait there for 6 to 7 hours. In fact, the flight had gone to Kochi and they couldn't land there because of bad weather conditions. So the flight got diverted to Trivandrum and they landed here around 6:30 a.m. But till 12 noon, there was no communication with the passengers and from the pilot. And they were just waiting inside the aircraft without having any idea when this flight will take off to Kochi. So naturally the crowd, the passengers got irritated and they went to the cockpit door and started asking questions. But in fact, the passengers say they never tried to enter the cockpit or try to assault the pilot or anything. So generally the security agencies and the airport authority officials, after conducting a preliminary inquiry, they found that what passengers said was true and that they didn't try to enter the cockpit and the pilot had actually kind of in panic pressed the hijack alarm. So now all the passengers have been released from the Kochi airport. They landed by 12:30, 1 o'clock. The flight took off from Trivandrum airport and they landed in Kochi. After that, and all the passengers were released. No action was taken against any of the passengers. In fact, 4 passengers have been told were just questioned inside the airport terminal at Kochi. But when the fellow passengers objected to that, they were also released. In fact, the DGP had told us that he has given special instruction to the CISF also not to detain any passenger with regard to this incident. So they were all let off free and they have all gone back to their home. But what exactly happened inside this investigation happening? DGCA has ordered an inquiry into the whole issue, and there are chances of taking action against the woman pilot who was actually captaining the Abu Dhabi-Kochi aircraft. So whether she had overreacted or whether the public was really at fault for doing a very gross violation, if at all they ever tried to enter into the cockpit. So that investigation will go on. But as of now, the issue has solved amicably between the passengers and the airline authorities. And what comes next should be decided after a detailed inquiry into this matter.
Praveen, in fact, we've been speaking to a number of people who were on board when that entire fracas took place. But Air India, surprisingly, has been mum about the reaction of the pilot and what led to this entire episode. The reason behind the delay, still no mention has been made of that by Air India itself.
We in fact Air India Express officials at Kochi, but they were not available for comment. In fact, Air India does not have any proper facility or system or officials in place in Trivandrum Airport to actually go and talk to these passengers and tell them what exactly caused the delay and when they are going to take off. So that actually worsened the matter. In fact, if they had a system in place at the ground in Trivandrum Airport, this issue, the whole issue would have avoided. So, but they didn't do that. In Kochi, they have only few officers sitting in Kochi, and the entire Kerala operations are manned from Kochi office, and they have no manpower in this airport across Kerala, neither in the Calicut nor in Trivandrum. So, whenever there is an issue with the passengers, when an Air India Express flight landed there, it was an unscheduled stop, so the passengers had all the right to know what happened and when, why it happened, and when they are going to be taken to their particular destination. But that was not done. So there was a serious flow from the side of the Air India Express officials because the passengers had the right to know when their journey will be completed, when they are going to be taken to their destination. But that was not done. And surprisingly, the Air India Express officials have not so far come out and said this and this has happened and this is what we are going to do in this. So that has not been done. Only the DGCA has come out, the airport authority has come out with a report which they had sent to the DGCA. regarding the incident after the preliminary
All right,
inquiry.
Praveen, I'm
And
sorry,
the
I have to
detailed
interrupt you
inquiry
for
was
just a
truthful.
second because a passenger, Premji, someone who was on board when this entire episode took place, he joins us now. Premji, can you tell us exactly what led to this angry outburst? Because passengers now are saying they did not try to forcibly enter the cockpit, but from the images that we are seeing, one thing is apparent that there was considerable anger. People are out of their seats. What exactly happened?
Actually, the flight yesterday taken from Abu Dhabi was already late for 2.5 hours, and it reached Cochin. And when it is reached Cochin, it was completely foggy atmosphere. So they diverted the flight to Trivandrum. So we landed on Trivandrum at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. Actually, when they landed, they promised that after few minutes, half an hour, 1 hour maximum, after refueling the flight, they will take us back to Kochi. But after few hours left, there is no response from the pilot. And after that, when people started making noise, they announced that they are going to deplate the flight. So there are lots of people who's having a previous similar bad experience from Air India Express. So they know that if they are going to deflate, if they are getting down from the flight, they are going to take them to Kochi through road. It will take around 5 to 6 hours minimum. After a hectic travel from Abu Dhabi, almost yesterday evening 7, we have to report there at 2 o'clock in the evening in Abu Dhabi time, and we are reaching on Toronto by 6:30. And after that, it is almost in the mid 10, 11 o'clock. At that time, they are making such kind of decision, and all the passengers opposed on this decision. And pilot was telling.
Premji, is that when some people apparently tried to enter the cockpit? Did you see that happen?
Actually, it has not happened. There was a number lock, high secured cabin for the pilot. So without her permission, nobody can enter into the cockpit. Okay. And the second thing is, there was a staff, ground staff was there on the in front of the cockpit. Okay. And he is standing over there, and he is communicating with both parties.
All right, Premji, thank you very much for giving us your side of the story. It was a harrowing ordeal. Thankfully, now it is over. M. Ranganathan, an aviation expert, now joins us on the phone line. Sir, given the facts of the case, do you think that the pilot overreacted? Because pressing the hijack alarm button put into process a number of things which could have been avoided if only communication had been tried with the passengers.
No, what I've heard is I have checked up with people. I understand that the passenger did barge in and they were threatening the captain. And she had tried to contact the control tower and ask for assistance. The airport security people did not come for any assistance. And only when they started threatening her physically, she took the option of triggering the hijack alert, which immediately triggered the security agencies into approaching the aircraft. So that was a panic reaction as far as setting the alert off. But then you got to understand that she had done Cochin, Abu Dhabi-Kochi and Trivandrum, and it's a very long flight throughout the night.
Right.
So it was a reaction which is being set off by stress.
All right. So there are two sides of the story. Ultimately, it will be the DGCA probe which will decide who was in the right. The pilot says she acted according to protocol. The passengers say they never tried to threaten the pilot or get into the cockpit.